Do you have a stellar interview? So if I were to interview the last 3 individuals that you interviewed about your business opportunity, and I asked them to give me a score on a scale of 1 to 10 as to how well you did at sharing your business opportunity, what score do you suppose they would give you? On a scale of 1 to 10, how do you feel about the numbers of interviews you're scheduling every week? Are you reaching what you want? How do you feel about the results of the sales of your new consultant's first 90 days in business? Are you aware of what your averages are? I mean, do you know what your new reps are averaging their first 90 days in business? Now, these are important questions, and they're worth contemplating, because if you're not really sure about the statistics, you'll be unaware as to how you're going to correct it. And I really believe that many of the representatives in our industry are frequently having conversations with guests and hostesses about the business, but that's kind of where it ends. They're creating interest, but they aren't taking it from interest to interview. I have had extensive conversations with clients and representatives during my seminars, and I have learned that many reps aren't comfortable sharing the business one-on-one, so they just don't pursue it. And I believe it mainly stems from their underlying fear around not knowing enough, or lack of confidence, or frankly, they're afraid of being rejected. In fact, I've analyzed several of my clients' recruiting methods, and I found that many of them, they would try to interview others over the phone and consequently overwhelm them out of the interest stage, giving them a reason not to meet with them. And when they shifted this, everything changed for them. And when I look back at my own process, my own experience, that was exactly what I found. I started this industry when I was about 18 years old. I went almost a year only recruiting one person, and she actually found me, right? And after about 5 months in the business, I was knocking out 20 parties a month. I wasn't recruiting a soul. I had no problem creating the interest and having conversations about the business, but my problem was that I couldn't take them from interest to interview. And the information that I'm about to share with you is beautifully outlined in my program, The Art of Interviewing and Launching New Representative Kit. It's a kit that's available on my site. And I want to start by telling you about the preparation stage. The key here is you want to get prepared. When you're ready to go out and interview somebody about the business, you better be clear about your launch party date. What are you going to offer a launch party? Dates to attend parties in your local community, basic interview material, and then what's your process of how you're going to start them? That's what they're thinking. You know, what will you do for me in the event that I decide to start? You also want an assortment of product from a starter kit. And then you'll notice that as you read this interview kit, you want to get this intentional mindset. What's your purpose? How do you want to impact the lives of the people that you lead? Who are you at your best? When you ask yourself that question, you kind of get out of your way and you get into that servant mentality, you get into that service focus, connection, confidence, empowerment, visionary, even spacious, detached. When we're detached from our outcome, we can serve to our greatest capacity. So you've been asking yourself, how do you want to be perceived by the person you're about to meet? Communication skills. Curiosity is the greatest skill in an interview. This genuine interest in others. That means open-ended questions, a state of fascination. That's what curiosity is really all about, this state of wanting to know more about this person. Also, deepening your listening skills. There's a skill called relational focused listening. And it says zoning in this focus on them, their interests, their concerns. And it's listening in between the words, allowing that intuition to pick up. I love the skill of mirroring. Mirroring is repeating the words back to people. I hear you say, and then you repeat the words. Or even when you notice that you're asking a question and they share an answer and you go, really? Wow. And that's mirroring. Geography, matching their energy, their body language, honoring their personal space. When you notice that someone's excited and hyper, you just kind of mirror their energy, right? Right? That's geography. Or you notice that somebody's a little bit quiet, more reserved, you mirror that geography. Self-management. Staying out of your agenda, you're focused on serving, you're aware of the time, and an even exchange of conversation. Probably four of the best words in an interview are if, suppose, might, and could. What if you decided to give this a try? You'll notice that in a minute. I'm going to give you an example. So mastering the interview is a long conversation, and it's all my audio program, Mastering the Art of Sharing the Business Opportunity. And here's the most important part of the interview: your way of being. And how you communicate the first 15 minutes will make all the difference in the world. It's all about connection, questions, and acknowledgement. So, can this happen over the phone? Absolutely it can. It's not the same thing, but it definitely can happen over the phone. However, we know what a big part of this business is to build a business in your local community. And as a leader, you want to coach and train others how to effectively create a business model in their local community. And part of the equation is learning how to create this stellar interview. So what's going to happen? You're going to connect somewhere. Maybe Starbucks, happy hour, meet them for lunch, invite them over for happy hour, appetizers, probably arrive about 10 minutes early. You're going to set up maybe a card, a gift, and then you're always going to start with casual conversation. How's your day? How's life? And when you start leading in, let's say you're at a Starbucks. They walk in, you give them a hug, you give them the card, how's life? And then get them a beverage. What can I get you to drink? You sit back down. And here's where it starts to shift. When you look at them and you lean forward and you say, tell me about yourself. You're going to notice they're going to kind of squirm in their chair a little bit. It's kind of like deep tissue massage. It feels good. It's a little bit uncomfortable. Tell me about yourself. And then you notice you're leaning forward, your geography is there. And then I believe there's 5 key intentional questions that will make the entire setup of this interview ideal. First question is, what have you enjoyed most about your experience with and the name of your company? They'll tell you. It's a feel-good kind of question. Think about it, right? I always think about therapy, couples. Let's say a couple's having a challenge and they're going to a therapist. They're even contemplating divorce, and an average therapist is going to say, what brought you here today? What are some of the problems you're being faced with? I mean, hopefully they'd say, how'd you meet? When did you fall in love? That first question, most people are intrigued by the product and the whole entire experience. The second question, something like, I'm curious. So what piqued your interest again? Now let's say that you got a little bit of that on the phone, or what piqued your interest about learning more about XYZ company? And this is where you get to find out what's really important to them. Well, remember I said I'm most interested in, my husband works swing now, and I got 2 kids in college. I got to pay for their tuition, and you're listening to that, and they're hearing themselves express it again. My very favorite question is the third question, where you lean forward and you say, what if you decided to give XYZ company a try? What if your phone was ringing off the hook? You had friends saying, hey, I want to host a friend's night out party for you. And you were earning a couple $100 a party, having a great time. I'm curious, how many parties do you suppose you might hold in a month? It's a great question. And let's say they said, well, maybe about 4. Then your fourth question is, what would that provide in your life? You'd be making probably about $800 to $1,000 a month. You want to calculate the amount and then ask that question, what would it provide in your life? And then the last question is you kind of want to find out what some of their challenges are and what you think that they would really enjoy about the business. So it's like, what do you suppose you'd enjoy most? You know, what would you enjoy most about representing XYZ company? And then what do you suppose you might enjoy least? You want to become aware of their interests and also their objections. So from this point on, you're going to deliver the body of the interview. And in my audio program and interview kit, I address the top 13 most commonly asked questions about our industry. And then I'll guide you how to use the question answer model by throwing out the question and then giving a powerful short answer. You can find the interview kit and audio program, Mastering the Art of Showing the Business Opportunity, located in our Lifeline Mall. So here's your challenge. I want to invite you to design your ideal interview and keep inviting others to hear about your business opportunity until you've experienced 5 in-person interviews, and then strive to host 5 interviews within the next 30 days. What do you think? Will you? Where the mind goes, the man follows. Just decide right now that you're going to attract 5 interviews within the next 30 days. And if you really want to play full out, pray about it. Dear God, lead those to me that need what I have to offer. I will serve them to my greatest capacity. Can't wait to hear your takeaways on our Facebook page. Find my business page, Steve Wiltshire, Lifeline Coaching and Education. Share your thoughts, your takeaways, any questions. Have a beautiful week. Love and success.